Journal of Indonesian Economy and Business is an open-access, peer-reviewed journal whose objective is to publish original research papers on the Indonesian economy and business issues. This journal is also dedicated to disseminating the published articles freely to international academicians, researchers, practitioners, regulators, and public societies. The journal
MEC. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let us express our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, because with His blessing, this Igetcode conference can be held once again in this year. Today, on 2025, it's the fourth time we organize this conference, and we are so happy to see it keep growing from year to year. This conference was designed as an academic platform for dialogue, the exchange of critical idea, and the building collaborations for the perspective of economic development. The theme we bring in this year is the navigating the future, the role of AI in shaping economic and social dynamic in Industry 5.0. We believe it's very relevant to today's global issues because some people see that artificial intelligence is a very great opportunity, but others see it is a very challenge. So the important question for us is not only how to use the AI to support economic growth, but also how to make sure that AI can be shared fairly while reducing risk and inequality might come with it. So I hope all participants today can take actively in discussion with our speakers until the end so that we can gain the fresh knowledge about AI and the building collaboration with others. And I would like to say thank you so much for the speakers, for the willingness to share the knowledge with us today. And I would like to say thank you so much for the committee, for MEP UGM, and everyone who has worked hard to make this conference happen. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to warm welcome to Igetcode 2025 and enjoy the conference. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Fajrul, for your speech. Now, we would like to invite the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Gadjah Mada, Professor Dr. Didi Akhyari, SAMCOM AK. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, distinguished guests, keynote speakers, colleagues, and students. On behalf of the Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Gadjah Mada, I'm honored to welcome you all to the International Graduate Student Conference on Economic Development, or Igetcode 2025. This annual conference has become an important platform for dialogue, knowledge exchange, and collaborations, especially as we face the challenges and opportunities brought by the rapid technological transformations. I would like also to take this opportunity to extend my deepest appreciation to our keynote speakers, Professor Yanti Rumbina Ianova Hutagaol, PhD, and Dr. Rezi Eko Charaka, PhD. Thank you for your willingness to share your valuable insights and expertise with us today. I also extend my appreciation to our reviewers, Dr. Dia Putriani, and to our judges, Professor Chatur Sugianto, Dr. Muhammad Rian Sanjaya, and Dr. Gigi Fitrianto, who evaluate today's presentations. Allow me also to acknowledge the dedication of the organizing committee led by Mr. Fajr Ansori, Chairperson of HIMEP, and the entire organizing committee for your dedication and hard work in preparing this event. This year's theme, Navigating the Future, the role of AI in shaping economics and social dynamics in Industry 5.0, highlights a very timely issue. Artificial intelligence is not only reshaping industry, but also redefining the way society functions. Through this conference, I hope we can critically explore how AI can be harnessed responsibly to promote sustainable development, inclusivity, and human well-being. Finally, let us embrace this opportunity to learn from one another, to share ideas, and to strengthen collaborations and that go beyond this conference. Once again, welcome to Igetcode 20 and 25. I wish you all an engaging, insightful, and fruitful conference. May today's discussion inspire us to shape a better future for our economics and societies. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Didi, for your warm welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, it is the time for us to begin the conference session, which will be led by our moderator, Ms. Ria Anastasia Tamba SA. First, let me introduce Ms. Ria. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in MEP FEB UGM with a specialization in business valuation with an academic background in actuarial science and financial management and professional experience in internal audit. She brings both strong analytical expertise and practical industry experience. Without further ado, let us invite our moderator for today to the stage, Ms. Ria Anastasia Tamba.
Thank you, Ms. Salsa. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International Graduate Student Conference on Economic Development, Igetcode 2025. My name is Ria Anastasia Tamba, and I will be your moderator for today. This year's conference brings us together under the theme, Navigating the Future, the role of AI in shaping economic and social dynamics in Industry 5.0. A timely and a relevant topic that calls for critical thinking perspectives on how AI is redefining industries, labor markets, and social structures across the globe. All right, before we dive in, let's do a quick check. On a scale 1 to 5, how excited are you for today's conference? If you are at level 5, please raise your hand high. Wow, everybody is in a good mood today. All right, thank you. You can lower your hand. Fantastic. I saw a lot of 5s, and I promise in a very short moment, you will get even more excited. Because today, we are truly honored to be joined by distinguished speakers who will share their insights and expertise on how we can navigate the future with AI in shaping economic and social dynamic in Industry 5.0. This conference is a part of our ongoing commitment to foster dialogue and collaboration to achieve sustainable future. Before we begin, let me introduce our esteemed speaker. Our first speaker is a distinguished academic and finance expert, Professor Yanti R.I. Hutagaol Martowijoyo, SP MAc PhD. She is currently serving as a full professor in the Finance International Program at Bina Nusantara University. With over 30 years of teaching and research experience, she has taught a wide range of courses in finance and research methodology. Mrs. Yanti has published widely in leading journals on ESG, earning quality, corporate governance, and firm valuation. And beyond academia, she has also authored corporate case studies, led finance and startup funding trainings, and spoken at national and international conferences. Our next speaker is Professor Rezi Eko Caraka, SSI MSc Res PhD. He is a researcher at BRIN Indonesia and research professor CYUT Taiwan. He is a prominent researcher organized among the top 2% world scientists in artificial intelligence by Stanford University from 2022 to 2024. And in 2025, Mr. Rezi received El Sinta Award as an Inspirational Youth for Indonesia's Vision 2045. And in 2024, he was awarded by Kemenpora as an Inspirational and Outstanding Youth in Science and Technology, and represented BRIN as a delegate at 38th Khwarizmi International Award in Iran. And now, please join me in welcoming Mr. Rezi and Mrs. Yanti to the stage. Please be seated, sir and ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling today? Wonderful. Terrific. Very well. In a very short moment, we will start the presentation from our speaker. Each of our speaker will have 20 minutes to deliver their presentation. Followed by a joint Q&A session, I encourage all participants to take notes and engage actively by submitting questions during the discussion sessions later. Without further ado, let us begin our first presentation. I now invite Mrs. Yanti as our first speaker. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, the master of ceremony for today. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Well, okay, right. And then we know that you are all excited for this event. Okay, so I'm Yanti, as already introduced by our moderator today. And then for non-disclosure agreement, I'm not an AI expert, and I'm also not an economist. Okay, so but I say that I'm an AI learner. Okay, so we are in BINUS now. We all lecturers should learn about AI because we will collaborate. We don't use AI, but we collaborate with AI in terms of teaching for the first phase, and then for other Catur Dharma. Okay, so I'm personally, I would like also to teach my students to collaborate with AI in their learning journey in BINUS. Okay, so my topic for talk this morning is the sustainability of Indonesian company and national economic growth, the role of artificial intelligence technology, okay, AI technology. So I'm more into the accounting and finance at corporate level. So sustainability is something also that is nowadays getting more attentions from researchers, as well as especially for the industry, because there are some regulations that cannot be negotiated about these sustainability measures in the company. Okay, so next. So let's see what happened in Indonesia. The Bureau Pusat Statistik said that in 2024, our GDP growth is 5.03%. It's actually quite high, quite amazing. Although perhaps grassroots do not feel it, but then that's what we get from the government or the Bureau Pusat Statistik anyway. And for the last 5 years or so, the micro, small, and medium enterprises contribute about 61% of that GDP, but then they absorb 97% of the workforce. This is quite a gap. So only 3% of workforce, but then in working in the large companies, but then they can produce about like 39%. Okay, so we are questioning about how is the productivity of the workforce in MSMEs. While the large enterprises in Indonesia are actually, is purported to be the driver for foreign direct investment as well as the exports. But that the challenges is that due to the global demand, then the green practice or sustainability should be implemented in Indonesia, and then here where DAI can help the large companies or big companies to fulfill the demand from the Europe or China, Europe, Japan, and Americans business partners. And also, I think that also AI could help the MSMEs to increase their productivity. Okay, next. So why AI matters for the sustainability? Because it shifts from the instrumental, so short-term objective into more stewardship. So this doesn't apply only for the large companies, but also MSMEs, okay? Because all values are actually not only produced or generated by the companies, but all stakeholders contribute to the value of the enterprises. Then the AI could strengthen the decision making. Either if you use the Gen AI, for the MSMEs, for example, or predictive or prescriptive. Perhaps the technical things Pak Rezi can explain more about this one. Okay, we know also some of you who already use ChatGPT, for example, for the essay, the thesis. Yes, we all use it, right? It's okay to use it, but then use it ethically and responsible, correct? Yeah. So that is actually the aim of the AI. Yeah. It's not that we use it just so we don't learn, but then we use it and collaborate. That's the keywords that I think the most important thing. We collaborate with AI so that there is human and AI collaborations approach that is needed. Okay, so it could actually faster the time for our work, so efficiency in a way, and also make it transparent. Okay, in that case, then if we can use the AI ethically and responsibly, then we can create also or achieve the sustainability of the firms or enterprises to get this sustainability culture, the one that is, so it become embedded. It's not like forced because the importer in Europe, Union or American or Japan ask the large companies to fulfill all the sustainability metrics in a way, but it becomes also embedded in our or the companies, Indonesian companies' operations. Okay, now next. Okay, so here I try to make how actually the AI can be adopted. What is the pattern? What is the model? So I put this quadrant. So between the firm size and also the data intensity, we know we focus on the one that is on the right, top right. Okay, perusahaan besar. And the small one, MSMEs, on the bottom left, okay. So for the MSMEs, we know everything is limited, right? The capital is limited, the knowledge of the workforce also limited, but then not all are limited, We know some MSMEs actually could go public, already went public in Indonesia Stock Exchange, because now Indonesia Stock Exchange has a board for the MSMEs, then usually they are high-tech companies. Although they are in the scale of the firm, the firm size is still in the small or medium. But then they have lots of data because of the big data. Later on, Mr. Rezi will also perhaps tell about it. Yeah. So the big data, the fintech company can actually get or use this kind of big data. Therefore, for the small companies with limited data, my suggestion is the method of AI adoption is to buy the AI and adapt to what is the AI works, okay? Collaborate with it, yeah? And then if it is a big company, usually they have the intensity of the data are quite big also. They can use big data. Then the AI adoption model, it's not buy, but build, okay? Now, there are many data scientists that can be work in all aspects of industry, yeah? This morning, Mr. Rezi said it's in Physical, even in politics, social science, they use big data also, and then data analytics is needed as well. So in all aspects of industry, I think data analytics is important. So big firms are actually capable to build the AI with the data scientists and integrate that AI with their operations. While if the big companies has a limited data, then the AI adoption should be built the foundation first, then work on and then get more data. When the data is already rich and have a big scale, then integrate. For the MSMEs that are actually tech, usually high-tech companies, they can actually acquire big data. Then they have to not build yet, but make it configure, make the AI configure first, and be partner with other companies in order to have this AI can be, help them to increase their productivity, increase the efficiency, and then later on is on the profitability. Okay, next slide, please. So what I just said is on the firm level, yeah, while here the audience actually is more in the macro level. Then if the firm levels sustainability increasing, then we expect that there is an improvement in the productivity. So we can imagine if at national level, if all firms, if the majority of firms increase their productivity, what happened to our GDP? It will increase as well, right? Yeah. So the aggregate gains will contribute to the GDP, to the export, and to FDI as well. So strong sustainability practices are positive to macroeconomic effects. It has been proven in a study by OECD, and also it's cross countries. So let's have that happens also in Indonesia, because it's not happened yet in Indonesia. Next. So as a conclusions and the future research agenda, I suggest that I conclude that the AI is actually a critical factor to accelerate the sustainability orientations of the company. It could enhance productivity, reporting, and governance across MSMEs and large firms. And it will support, of course, later on to Indonesian economy. Then I propose for the future research agenda, empirical testing of the framework that I just told you. Yeah, is it happening, or does it big firms or MSMEs are able to adopt using that model. Does those models work, for example, yeah? And then trade-off between AI efficiency gains and the energy cost. AI adoption is not without cost, okay? Although it is proven to be more efficient, but it also have cost, yeah? So firm level sustainability to macroeconomic indicators, how does it work, yeah? Okay, OECD already have their research. We may check those kind of research. Then, is that the methodology in Indonesia works, or we have to adapt other methodology so we can actually make a better narrations about how is the firm's level sustainability can actually improve the national economy. Okay, so that's the materials that I give to you. Let's discuss later for question and answer. Thank you very much.
Let us once again give a round of applause for Mrs. Yanti. Thank you, Mrs. Yanti, for your remarkable presentation. And now we will invite Mr. Rezi, our next speaker. The stage is yours, sir.
Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Annyeonghaseyo. Annyeong. Okay, thank you for today. I will talk about the navigating the futures, the role of AI in shaping economic and social dynamics in Industry 5.0. So in short, yeah, the master ceremony, they tell about my story. I've been in Korea about last 9 years. I've been working in Seoul. Everyone know Seoul? Seoul National University. So, yeah, skip. Yeah, for today's talk, I divided by 4 sessions. 4 sessions. First, we will discuss about the background of AI, how AI works, several uses of AI in economics and business, and what is perspective in government. And if you know that in last 2 weeks, Indonesia's ministry has already published about the white paper of AI. So the question is, what is AI? So before we talk about this technology, later you have to ask yourself, you really know or not about the AI. So because it is important if you know the definitions before you're using it. Yeah, this is the basic of AI within the computer vision. In short, if I talk about the AI Indonesia is less than, I mean that our technology is not as in other countries. So for example, if I working for the deaf communications, this research is about in 2012, Miss and Sir. So it's been published for the 2025. So our technology is about the less 5 and 10 years in other country. So it's also pretty sad. So it's also part of AI. We help for our deaf communications to empowering communication within the BISINDO. So this is AI. And then what is AI? First, of course, you are already using the Netflix. Netflix have some of the system to make the preference for your watching list. For example, if you like to watching the drama Korean, of course, if later in next month, if they have the new content, of course, they will suggesting to you to watching it. So it's AI for personalization. And then we have also fog technology for Uber to, if you in some strict position for location, of course, they will search the navigated driver to come to you early. So this is also part of AI for technology. And then we're talking about the letters about social media, how the government maintained our netizens, because our netizen is too expressive to communicate what they feels, what they think about this country. Of course, our government also maintained the AI to using it. And the Siri and also computer visions, if you're using the train for KI, before you enter the train, you can using the face recognitions to enter the train. So this is also AI. And then currently, the battle of big tech is with the five companies within the OpenAI for ChatGPT, Gemini from the Google, Cloudy for Anthropic, Microsoft, and also Meta. So the question is, if my humble opinion, which one is more smarter? I will choosing the Gemini. Gemini using the huge parameter to do the deep think, for get the sum of knowledge and provide our quite good information, not as biased as ChatGPT. Yeah, Gemini is the winner. Yeah, changing is accelerating. Yeah, Gemini's launch about the February 2024. Until then, release about the Gemini sections 0.5 Pro, and also Microsoft release about Copilot Wave 2. And then until now, we have also DeepSeek from the China about the December last year. So in my experience in Singapore, I'm also working in NUS to make the sum of the AI technology for the medicines. In Singapore, the DeepSeek is strictly prohibited, because most of them is asking about the privacy in China. So in Singapore, they banned the DeepSeek. So I'm also using the DeepSeek. I mean that DeepSeek maybe not as smarter as the Gemini, but more cheaper than the Gemini for DeepSeek. For example, for alternative, if you want to see or you want to develop your own code, I know that also my students also not have the good skills for the coding, isn't it? So most of them is using DeepSeek to learn, because this is more cheaper than you pay the GPT or Gemini. So Cheng is everything. Yeah, as we know that in this year's GPT launched the GPT-5 Pro, and also we have the Gemini Ansnibi, more smarter, Meta Llama from your WhatsApp. So for example, my wife is a doctor. So if she wants some of the asking some question more specific that I know in data science perspective, we asking AI so to communicate. Yeah, it's good to communicate using the Meta for the WhatsApp features. Yeah, this is the example of about 2024. In January, I try to generate the image in GPT. For example, we using the prompt, a Pikachu fine dining with a view to the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, you can see that in last year, the pictures generate not really real. Yeah, in Indonesia it's gepeng for the Pikachu. And then from this year, it's more panoramic. If you make the Pikachu from GPT, yeah, more good lah, yeah. There's so colorful. It's AI. And what is several uses of AI in economics? So we're also talking about the policy based on big data, because it's important, as we know that as data scientists, we have to maximize all of information, and we should maintain the risks itself. So for example, in last 5 years, maybe the resource using from the Bapanas dataset, from the SKI Kemenkes, using the Susanas, Sakarnas, but in UI, in about the 2021, we're using the remote sensing to to measure in the household level, to make the clustering and so on. Yeah, it is also good for the policy based on big data. So, what is important here as the normal people and also data scientists will be typically different if we looking the detail of the problem. So we should find the solution. More data scientists will be more objective. Yeah, because we would like to find the insight from data. So those other skills rather than to make the programming, you should have skills to the data storytelling, because it is important. Because in every level, yeah, the data strolling more important, yeah, than others are skills for the interpret what the information is in the data. Yeah, it is start your journey. As I said before, in 2021, I maintained all the courses about business analytics, data science in MPKP FBUI, Master Management, Master Economics, and also Master Accounting. So all the courses in data science, I'm person in charge to handle it. So what is the idea to separate that? First, the student should know how to using the coding. Yeah, learn about the using the R programming, using the Python, rather than using the Stata and others. Yes, Stata is kind of the GUI, graphical user interface. Just click, 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 and you get the result. But in recent research, you should find your best parameter from your data, because every data acquire different parameter. Yeah, because we working for the we based on the data. So that's why first you should know the basic statistic. You learn how to using the programming, because your own problem will be specific to your own models. Yeah, it can be general. Yeah, that's why you should learn kind of the measuring for economics. And then for your interest, you can learn about the microeconomic theory, macroeconomic theory. It depends on what your research interest is in it. Yeah, for the reasoning, for the data storytelling. And then what the important is in this part about the data government and policy, because we should maintain about the ethics, about the using of data. Yeah, not all of the data can be analyzed. Yeah, we should maintain the kind of the ENICA, about the maybe the other consent if the participant is not more than 17 years old. Yeah, kind of that ethics. You should maintain your research is past the ethics. So if the question is how, if I want to get into the AI, of course you should learn the statistics, the computing, and then you back to your own theory, like the reasoning. You will into to micro or to macro. And then about data set, of course, first we can using kind of social media. You can harvest your own data using the X or Twitter. For Facebook, in last 5 years, everything is free. If you harvest your own data for the sentiment levels, it's free. But in last 3 years, yeah, we should pay about $150, gitu ya. But it can be harvested only for the 5,000 tweets. So if you want to using kind of the sentiment of the some of the topics, of course it can be limited, because some paper acquire about the 30,000 tweets for your data set. So 15,000 is not enough if you want to produce the paper. So some paper, like the regional economics, like of the other policy for using sentiment, they're asking for the data sets about the 30,000 tweets. Yeah. And then the data set also can be get from the laboratory. You can using for the interview, for survey itself. If I, as a promoter, I'm asking my students to make like the open questionnaire and the closed questionnaire. So it will be good for you to validate is it true or not. Because if you want to make the scale like the 1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 10, if you read more detail about the psychometric, mostly the humans could be neutral. They will be asking about the 6 or 7. Yeah, some variable we would not valid if you're using the structural equation model. So that's why the challenge is that the students will be make some of the open questionnaire to validate the closed items by using the scale. And then I will talking about the satellite data, because it's really, really important, and the data are more available and more up to date. Yeah, we can using for kind of the satellite data, and also multimedia data using to maximize your information. Yeah, I'm into the remote sensing because I'm type of researcher that seeing is believing. So I believe what I see rather than report from the government. No offense, now I'm part of the government working in the National Research Innovation Agency. But I'm really like to using the remote sensing because the data is really up to date. We cannot modify it, we cannot mimic the data. The data is Indonesia is apa adanya. It will be more good if you talking about the policy to make the sum of policy. So remote sensing is the acquire informations from the distance, because we have the satellite on the Earth to maintain our planet, the sensors. So the sensor itself can be detect what the information is in the Earth. So this is remote sensing. Yeah. For example, what is using remote sensing first in about the 2022, using mainly in the COVID-19, like to maintain the mobility of our people, not to move in every region. Yeah, we maintain the geospatial data within our mobile data, our phone data. So remote sensing can be using also to analyzing the infrastructure, even footprints, to get information about the agricultural areas. Is it good or not to harvest the paddy, to harvest some of the type of species good in every area? Yeah, we can using the remote sensing. And also, in last years, the remote sensing can be using for tourism. So, for example, if you want to analyzing some regions have tourists or not, so we can using the Angkasa Pura data from the airplane, and then we can combine it within the mobile phone data. So because our phone is tracking different BTS, isn't it? For example, if I in this location, and then I'm moving to another location, so my phone will be get information for the distance BTS. So you can using kind of the tracking data from that one. So if you're using of the NASA for the remote sensing, there are many variables can be using it. Like for example, if you want to see the climatology, you can using the atmosphere data. So atmosphere data, the definition is to measuring the geophysical process, like the clouds, the aerosol, precipitation, lightning, chemistry, temperature, radiation, and so on. So there's many variables in NASA that can using it. For example, if you're using the GDP for your variables, you can using the other data set like the neck-like data. So neck-like data measures if some area has a lack intensity. Of course, they have good infrastructure. So you can change your variable GDP to the neck-like data from the auxiliary variable or the additional variable. So later maybe you can explore in the data set from the NASA, because it's really use you guys to using this research, using this kind of the data. The data is up to date. Yeah, the one. And then if you're talking about big data, of course the source data is huge. Like we can get the data from the review opinion using from the harvest from the social media. For example, you using the trip.com. So you looking detail for the villas or the other place. Yeah, we can harvest the data from the sentiment. The people really like or not about the service. That is for the review and opinion. Of course, later if you're looking for the YouTube, maybe there's also some information. We can get the comment YouTube to analyzing the sentiment. Yeah, and then we have the historical data, like the time series, means like from the exchange stocks, from the inflation, it kind of historical data, because the data should be time series. And then conversation, network friendship, CCTV, and so on. Yeah, the source is data is very huge. Yeah, and then for the big data, there are also many V's information, like the velocity, like the vagueness, like the volume. So the important thing is that if you're using the big data, you should maintain the vagueness. Yeah, I mean that the definition should be general. Or if using kind of the specific words, you have to make sure that other people understand what the definition is. Yeah, for example, if you're talking about the Alhamdulillah lu kena azab, Alhamdulillah means positive, isn't it? But if you look into detail to sentiment, kena azab, it means polarity negative. Yeah, it can be vagueness, what I said. And then for analytics, the important things, you have to make the pre-processing data. You have to mention your data is not missing values, else data is homogeneous, can be interpreted, because not data is interpreted, because we have the number data, we have text data, unstructured data, We have the imaging data, also unstructured. Yeah, every data should have different skills to analyzing it. Yeah, and then we have to make sure you have to know to process, to uncover the hidden patterns of the data for the data storytelling. Yeah, we're working about the social computing if we're using the sentiment and the people itself. So the insight is depends. If you're using for market segmentation, yeah, maybe you can using the informant the segmentation, fraud detection, and so on. So it different what you want to do about this data. Yeah, this is the current problem in AI. First, if you're working to the time series data, like the inflation, like the stocks exchange, it should be non-stationary. Yeah. That's why if you're using basic the time series like the ARIMA, yes, you should maintain your assumption is white noise is fulfilled. But yeah, don't be sad because data science have many models like the semi-parametric, like the non-parametric. Yeah, you can explain more. Yeah, about the non-stationary. And then, of course, is our data is the cluster. I mean that you want to make the cluster maybe which one the MSMS is vulnerable. Like the other, like the some specific region, yeah, you can analyzing see if the population shift is different with using kind of the clustering, and then also for the regression, yeah, you have to mention your model is really robust, yeah. For example, if you're using 5 variables and later you have the idea to develop your own model, you can put another variables to our models. So, but in some of model is not really robust if the research put the new variable. So it can be changing in the regulatory changes in regression models. So that's the current problem in AI. And then another thing is the overfitting. Yeah, you should know, that's why if you're working for the time series, you should make like the intervals level, confidence level. Yeah. If our confidence level is 25 and the lower one is the 20, yeah, if we can the predict is not lower and up that value, so it can be the overfitting. And training data biased, yeah, you should maintain your data, not big ego, the garbage in, garbage out. Whatever your data, if you cannot maintain the information, yeah, you analyzing the garbage information, it can be harmful our research. Yeah, should maintain the data is not biased. It's good enough. It's good enough for analysis. And then also for the covariate shift, yeah, for we using the classification. For example, if we do the classification from the diabetic patient, yeah, we should maintain that variable is good enough to classify the diabetic. Yeah, like the post sugar level and then other variables. And then about the AI in business and economics is really important like this. If you really into to use the AI for the fraud detection, if you want to make like this, you should make sure your data is like this. First, you have the historical data, like the when the exactly the event exists. Yeah, you have to have the date transaction, and then to make sure these transactions can be labeled normal or anomaly. Of course, you have values like the number of transaction. Yeah, because our model can be get the value and the classification. Our transactions is normal or not. Yeah, the variable is the normal transaction. And then frequent transactions. Yeah, the label is if maybe you can make the threshold like if the data frequency more than 7, it can be like labeled to the anomaly. So also we have the variable like the frequency transactions, and also lama akun. Yeah, that's why if you read the news in last 2 weeks, our government freeze some of the bank account if there is not have transactions is more than 3 months, isn't it? So this information. This research that what I did in last 5 years with Bank Indonesia and then using it in last 2 weeks to make the sum of AI technology to maintain the fraud detection from this variable. So that's why we can make the time series, because if we are working to the this information, yeah, we can get into the which day, which time they have the many fraud transaction. And then another research important if you combined the news article and then the exact the time series, yeah, for the sentiment, because of course if you are doing the stocks, yeah, some statement from our important person in this country can be a fake, isn't it, to lower down to the stock exchange. That's why from this research, me and our team in BRI, we harvest the data from the news articles, and then we put it the sentiment to the exact values of the stock exchange. Yeah, that's why we can get what will really get from this information. Yeah, from this data. Yeah, we can using it from this information, and our accuracies about the 99%, so it can be pretty good to forecasting for this information. Yeah, for this one also, about our research in 2021, yeah, same like the previous one from the BRI, but this one from the cryptocurrency. Yeah, you see that there can be harmful words. Yeah, you saw that the up figures, they have the peak down. Yeah, we can generate what is happen about this cryptocurrency. Yeah, first about the Tesla is not accepting the Bitcoin, and then Tesla is selling the Bitcoin. Says Tesla has not sold Bitcoin, and Bitcoin are big tweet. Yeah, we can label the sentiment to the exact values of time series. It is very important. I mean that if some of traditional researchers, they only using kind of the individual models. Yeah, but if you looking more detail, or if you looking for more information, of course you should combine other models to get more insight of this data. Yeah, this is also our research from the grant from the Bank Indonesia, from the RGBI in 2021. We do the analysis within the MSMEs in Indonesia using the Sakarnas and SONAS data set with that year, and then we can get which area they have many high vulnerable of MSEs. So we can get analysis what they need from that one, because not all of SMS they have get digital literacy. Yeah, then my team they went to Papua, to Medan, and asking what really happens. Yeah, if you're using these figures, if we asking their mama, sorry, sir, could you? Here, yeah, this one is the topic one. Topic one means that ikan, WhatsApp, consumer, bank, and so on. So we can make the topic modeling for the specific information of the open questionnaire. Yeah, that's why I tell you, if you want to make some of the interview with the SMS, please make the open questionnaire, because they not really understand what the scale is. Yeah, it's really important to get analysis. Yeah, that's why we maximize using the BPS data set, and then we using the voice recognition like this. We do the interview, we record the voice, and that voice can be generated to the text. So that text we analyzing using kind of the AI topic modeling and NLP, natural language processing. It's really important. Yeah. There's also the viral research that what I did in last years about my research discussed about the combinations of the SOSANAS, risk-based remote sensing, and is it really important or not about the freelance program specific in Papua. Yeah, if you're talking about policy, yeah, my perspective that every region requires specific policies. The policies cannot be more general. But in Papua, from our data set, not all the Papuans really agree about this program. Yeah, they're more into about the free educational program. So that's why we're working about this program is can be good or not to battling the pneumonia, to underwrite diarrhea, malnourished, stunting, and RE, about acute respiratory infections. Because every disease acquire different type of the meals. Yeah, for example, if you stunting, it can be dietary, can be carbohydrate or protein. Yeah, kind of like that. So because it's really specific to every disease from that child in the Papuan. Yeah, this so about my research in about last 4 years. About last 4 months. Yeah, we working about the comparisons within the ex-president with the sentiment. Yeah, we working about how Jokowi in last 3 months before changes to Pak Prabowo, and also we compare with the Pak SBY with last 3 months before move to Pak Jokowi and so on. So we can see for specific from Pak Jokowi what the netizen think about it. First, most of the media make some of the informations about Pak Jokowi. They produce the news about the Nawacita, government, drama, debt, and so on about topic 1. And then topic 2, most of them is discussing about the investment, infrastructure, creation, and so on. And then we can comparing with the sentiment analysis. If you're working about sentiment analysis, can be divided by 17 category, like the happy, sad, anger, disgust, fear, and so on. So it can be labeled the public really mad or not from that one. So this research really is still going on. Yeah, we try to get more data. As I said before, it is using kind of this text data. Some paper acquire about the 30,000 tweets. Yeah, 50,000 is not enough for publication. Yeah, that's how we're working it for comparison for the sentiment analysis. And then for the jodol or only gambling, here we harvest the data from the YouTube, from YouTube, because there's many content about discussing about the jodol, and then we get the data from the comparison, what the information is from this jodol. For the positive sentiment, they're asking that jodol, they provide information that jodol is associated with the entertainment. They really like from the adrenaline is rushing from using the jodol. And then it's seen something that brings joy and personal benefit because that adrenaline rushing was in jodol. And then for the negative sentiment, some netizen, we found the word like the victim, arrested, stupid. This appear frequently for the negative sentiment. And about the neutral sentiment, we get the information kind of the for the strong emotional tone, for labeling this information. And then for the another research that really important, we can maintain or you can see what the government really using your money is in good or not. For example, here we using from the Basnas, Badan Zakat Nasional. And then we know that in last 2021 and until the first 2022, many of us maybe would like to do the sadaqah, and the zakat. So we can know that Basnas really using our money good or not. We can using kind of the their annual public documentation or annual report. We using kind of this PDF. And then what we get the information first. We get information of the logistic. Maybe Basnas using our money for the logistic. And then we get the word of the funeral assistance or penguburan massal. Or maybe Basnas using our money to mengubur penguburan massal. And then we found the word like the food, about the ambulance standby, about hand sanitizer, about isolation room, disinfectant spraying. And then we also have words like the cash, like the public kitchen, and distribution of mask. You can using of AI from the NLP to do the research. My students also using different object or sorry, different subject, like the Ministry of the Foreign, yeah, and also Ministry of the Fisheries, using kind of the desk publication annual. Yeah, you can get specific. Maybe from this year, this government specific to what agenda. Yeah, you can comparing it using kind of the knowledge management and services. Yeah, this is the recent research that our team tried to do for using the AI for cancer prevalence detection. For here, we using the kind of remote sensing like the elevation, slope, distance, and also land surface temperature, and proximity to waters. So if you're looking to the develop some of the building, of course we should maintain the area close enough to the water, isn't it? Yeah, and then the area is not in the low degree of the slope. Yeah, it should good condition, and then not many hospital in Indonesia they have the cancer organizations kind of like that. So that's why we put the estimate of the cancer's level, and then we put it for the population girth. Of course, the assumption is if the area many people in their domestic, of course, they need this hospital. So we make kind of the analysis using the which area can be high cancer, and maybe it can be good for the Ministry of Health to look into more detail. Not only in Java for infrastructure, we should took more detail maybe about in Sumatra, about the Kalimantan or Papua, Sulawesi. Later, maybe if they have the cancer, they don't have to fly all the way from their residence to the Jakarta. Yeah, this is really important research to get into it from the oncology facility development using the AI for remote sensing. Yeah. And the last is the question is asked to me that you state the algorithm only provided initial signals while data scientists uncover the truth. In this context, how can we ensure that data scientists do not lose their investigate sensitivity? Because it's very important. Yeah, not really into AI. We also have you should maintain to what you believe. Yeah, AI is not really smart as us. Gitu ya. They only have gigabyte of the parameter, yeah, but your neuron is milliard, yeah. So what is the strategic important? First, what the important is the AI is only decision support, yeah, not a decision maker. Yeah, they only provide the information to but you should decide what you will do. Yeah, this only of the AI system. That's why I mentioned it. AI only for the provide the indication. They only get the pattern of data, found the anomalies, yeah. But the final is yours, yeah. You should maintain what you will do after you analyze this information. Second, you should invest your money to training and updating, yeah, because it's really important. The current years is we should have the good soft skill yeah, to using it kind of the AI, yeah, the training and updating. And then the important is that the AI kind of they also have the blind spot analysis, like if you try to found like the number law, yeah, number governments kayak UUD, yeah, the AI provide the bias, yeah. So you should careful if you found the low number in specific GPT or Gemini, yeah, because they are biased. And then sometimes GPT provide biased information lah, yeah, for the blind spot analysis. Yeah, the last thing is the important about the human loop approach. GPT, Gemini, you can select that to like the role. Yeah, maybe you can make the prompt, think as the professor, think as the businessman, or think as the doctor. So you should ask specific to the AI to ask a role. So they think that they will be easy to this system to generate information is what you need. Yeah, you should find what the role of this AI from the prompt, from the lecturer maybe, for the business idea maybe, and so on. So for the future direction, yeah, in that what I say in last 2 weeks, yeah, we have already published about the white paper for the roadmap of the AI. Yeah, we opened until this October. If you have read this but 173 pages, maybe in some of the chapter, maybe you found that this information is not into to Indonesia. Yeah, feel free to make some of the feedback to us. Yeah, you can email to kerjal.aikita@komdigi.go.id. Yeah, I'm the person in charge to evaluate this kind of the book White of the AI in Indonesia for Komdigi. And in Indonesia, what we did until now, first we try to rebuild about the platform model and hub the AI. For example, if you looking for the productivity padi, yeah, you can find your data from the Bulog, from the Ministry of Trade, yeah, from the BPS as well. That's why we want to measure kind of information to the one data. Yeah, they can be make you confused anymore. Yeah, for the collaborate data. And then we try to make the infrastructure, what I said about the portal satudata.com, yeah, like make the variables is not confusing for vagueness, and then for API data is open. If you using the Python and R, yeah, we try the API is open, and then of course about the saving the data, we have to maintain the data privacy, yeah, is maintained from that one, and also from anonymous data set. And then for the infrastructures, the important thing is about the GPU, yeah, high performance computing, and also about the fiber optic for the internet, and also private cloud, yeah, to saving our data. And then if you rebuild our AI, is so very expensive. That's why we using the other batteries, yeah, like the Azure, like the AWS, and also the Google AI. Yeah, this is our top priority for until next year, yeah, 2026. Yeah, the AI from Indonesia, for this report, we focus about the freelance program. That's why I said in our paper, some of the pediatric, yeah, requires different type of the meals, yeah, like the typically the milligram of the protein, milligram of the carbohydrate, yeah, and so on. Yeah, that's why we try to make the tabular analysis using computer vision using AI. And then we also try to like the swasembada pangan, yeah, using the AI. This program is maintained by BMKG. They using kind of a sensor that I present in last slide with the NASA variables, yeah, to predict the specific finance in the area. And yeah, for the from the other agenda is using for the maintained financial reporting using the machine learning, yeah, from the Ministry of Cooperation. Yeah, and the last is, yeah, from the Ministry of Pendidikan Dasar Menengah. They try to make good curriculum, yeah, to our elementary school. We're using AI, like the personalized learning, yeah. Yeah, and then the last thing is about the hoax and disinformation that I make before. Yeah, we try to analyzing which media publish fake news. Yeah, we can freeze that media. We maintain the good quality information. Yeah, what netizen to consume for the social media. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
Let us once again give a round of applause for Mr. Rezi. Thank you, sir, for your very insightful presentation. And now we will move on to the Q&A session. I invite the participant to ask questions to our speakers, and I will give the opportunity for 3 questions. Please raise your hand, and I will call on you to deliver your questions. And also, please state your name, your affiliation, and to whom your questions is addressed. Any question? All right. While we wait for the participant to prepare, oh, there's one. Please state your name, your evaluation, and to whom your question is addressed.
Thank you for Prof. Yanti and Sir Resi. This is a very insightful material for me. And I am Wisnu Kusursaya from Gajah Mada University. I have one question to Prof. Yanti maybe. Beyond boosting productivity on the supply side, can AI enhance household purchasing power directly and can strengthen the mindset of economy? And what role should policymaker and other stakeholders play make
Okay, thank you, Wisnu, yeah, Wisnu, for the. I think it's quite interesting. Economic, but I tried to remember what is purchasing power in the international finance we have it. Okay, so BINUS, I think the management lab just made the omnibus survey. It's like yearly annual surveys about the AI last year regarding the e-commerce. And then it is found that the AI can actually help the customers in choosing products. And that also empowered by the because the e-commerce is empowered by AI to give a predictive and prescriptive suggestions about what product that can be used. So two stakeholders step here in terms of the purchasing power is the e-commerce itself that used or applied the AI and through chat box. Then there's a customers, yeah. So I think the purchasing power may increase in this way because less time is needed to browsing what products that should be chosen. I think if it is enough to answer your questions. Another result that is found is that the chat box also empowered AI empowered in the e-commerce. It helps to resolve the complaint from customers quicker rather than the manual complaint that customers usually do. So in this case also there's a productivity because time efficient in a way, then also give more assurance to the customers that actually make them want to buy more on that e-commerce. Am I answering your question? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wisnu, for your question, and thank you, Mrs. Yanti, for your wonderful answers. We will move on to second questions. The guy in the front, please state your name, your evaluation, and to whom your question is addressed.
do some research in my valuation and artificial intelligence. And this is question for Mr. Rezi. And a few months ago, I checked in Workbank and BPS. The data not same like poverty rate and anything. So as a research, what do you think about our data? Because we have a good platform like ChatGPT and help to give process and but we have we support with the data. That's for question number one. And question number two is what do you think about blockchain? Blockchain, I have more new news about blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. It will be changed rupiah or currency. What your opinion about that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ahmad. Your first question is too political. Yeah, it's really too political because Indonesia is using, yeah, I know that different kind of the variables because, yeah, if you see the news from the last weeks, yeah, it could be interesting because Indonesia is number 3 for the countries. I mean that success. Yeah, Qatar is number 5. That's why maybe in our government they would like to fulfill every variable that need to maintain the indicator. That's quite good. And then about the why the World Bank data will be sometimes is different with our data. It can be also different with our UUD, Mas Ahmad. Yeah, because to specific kind of information, yeah, UUD maintain that. Yeah, that's why sometimes the information is different within that. And then for the second questions about the cryptocurrency, yeah, if you look like more detail about the crypto transactions, they're more safe. Yeah, because every transactions they keep in the specific box. Yeah, yeah. If you talking about the privacy or about the safeness, yeah, of course, transactions of the Bitcoin will be good. If you ask another one, it will be replaced the rupiah or not? Of course not, because also we have the UUD to make sure that rupiah is legal using money in Indonesia. But if you're using the behavior, maybe yes. Yeah, if you yeah, from in last 2 years, some of the people more likely to using the Christ than using the cash. Yeah, that's what our style or our that one is changes. Yeah, from the lifestyle of transactions. Yeah, maybe that's all. Yanti, want to add?
I might add to the second questions because I think we have to be very careful. Blockchain is a technology. So while the cryptocurrency is actually the assets, financial assets, digital financial assets, right? So blockchains can be also used not only in the digital financial assets such as cryptocurrency, but blockchains can be also used in the agriculture for the supply chains, for example, can be also used in the manufacturing companies to get the common informations, for example, for the industry. So blockchain is a technology, while the cryptocurrency is the assets, the products. Okay, in terms of the digital currency, I think it will not replace rupiah because rupiah is our sovereignty. All countries has their own sovereignty. Even I think World Bank cannot ask us to change our rupiah, yeah, because it's our sovereignty. But like Mr. Reza said, that if the in the applications, so many actually will invest in, because in Indonesia, up to now, the digital currency asset is only for investment. It's not for transactions yet. Okay, so yeah, for investment that would be okay, but as a corporate finance educator, I'm still on the valuations of the fundamental. So it means that the one that is tangible, so such as stocks, bonds, for me is more preferable, is safer, yeah, rather than the digital currency, which has no transparent about what's the fundamentals or what assets is underlying this digital assets. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your questions, and thank you, Mrs. Yanti and Mr. Rezi, for your answers. And now we will move on to the third questions. The guy in the back with the black shirt.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Luki Ardana from UGM student. So I have a question for Mr. Rezi. Nowadays, a lot of Indonesia system platform that generate data using integrate or using API from like OpenAI or Gemini. And what do you think about that? Because I have a concern about risk and data confidentiality, and I think, and also we are rely too much on the AI forensic platform service. So that's it.
Okay. I beg your pardon. Is it for the generate data, generate variables, for the research purpose?
Platform that generate data in Indonesia.
Generate data in Indonesia. Specific?
Maybe in like my internal team using API from OpenAI to about and generate data about strategy issues. Because I previously worked in Ministry of Finance, so.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Okay. If you would like to publish that research, yeah, it can't, because some of the journals, they have the prohibited using the data mimic using the AI. Yeah. If you're asking me, of course, this can be not. But if you only for your like the not teaching to learning, for example, if the models they shoot the data like this, yeah, you can using it, but it can be published. Yeah, some of the specific journal, yeah, they have kind of specific. Requires what the style of the data. Yeah, because in last part, of course, we have the statement, isn't it? The statement of data. Yeah, it can be published, but for the learning, yeah, you can using it. Am I answering your question?
So my concern is. Maybe there is still Indonesia platform that using AI from API from like OpenAI. Like you tell that you use Google AI like that. So how about the data confidentiality or the risk from that?
Oh. If we using kind of that one from the RICS information, of course we have. I mean that if you're using generic data from the AI, yeah, it can be, yeah, it's not good, yeah, because but for the others like the from your learning, yeah, you can using it, Mr. But for the like the development infrastructures, please no.
Okay,
so you fail for the ethics.
So we
Only
must
for learning.
okay. We must build our AI.
Yeah.
Our own, okay.
Yeah, that's why that's also the what I said before. You should maintain the GIGO, the garbage in, garbage out. Yeah, because every AI they different type of the beta parameters. Yeah, if the parameter is not good, the information is biased. Yeah, you develop the wrong one.
Okay.
Mm. Huh? Oh, you share the data for my eye.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's why the interesting news is that some of the people that they would like to share what they thought to the ChatGPT rather than psychology. Yeah, it also fell for the ethics, Mister. That's why like the auditors they put that the invoice to the GPT. GPT will save the invoice. So you fell for the ethics of the profession. Yeah, that's not many data can be used all the way you put it Excel to the GPT. Yeah, you fell for that one. Yeah, they will using it to their information. Mm-mm.
Okay.
That's also last week. I also invited the PKF. Yeah, the auditors in Indonesia. The problem is most of auditors they using the AI just put all the way the tax invoice to the ChatGPT. They put all the way that informations of the partners to GPT. Yeah, so if you create the account for before you sign up, you have to read some of the restrictions. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, some of the words in that one, you feel free using this data from the GPT for develop maybe the some others one. Yeah, you willingly to using it. Yeah, that's why important. Before you create the user, you have to read all the way the regulations from that one. Yeah, please know to put all the way the report to the AI. Yeah, you willingly to fail for the ethics.
So okay, thank you.
All right, since everyone is very excited today, we will provide 2 bonus question sessions. You can ask questions to one or both to our speakers. All right.
Mbak ini dari tadi, Mbak, di depan.
Yeah, the lady in the front, please.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity since I raised my hand several times. Okay, I want to ask a question, especially to Mr. Rezi. Mr. Rezi, since your background is statistics, but we are most of us in here probably in economics. Do you have any suggestion for us when we want to study across our background knowledge, especially in data science? What's your first capacity that we need to acknowledge and understand, because it's cross-border, our research that previously we did. And the second is when, for example, we scrap the data from the Facebook, for example, Facebook groups about, for example, about online loan or about online gambling, right? And how you, based on your experience, how you get the consent, and is it able for us to just use this data, and how we present the data, because sometimes we need to quote the discussion, right? What's, based on your opinion, how we do the research? Okay, thank you, that's all.
Okay, thank you. For the first question, of course, you have to find your good member. Maybe you can create your good circle, and have the routine to learning the statistics, learning the programming. You have to maintain your environment is supporting what you need. That's why. So that's a good question for me. My friend is asking me, Rezi, why you knows everything? Because statistics. I'm working. My experience. I'm working in the hospital in the SNU medicine. I'm working in the doctors from the neuro kind of like that. Yeah, I post some models to pick the ADHD. And then I working in the Master of Measurements in UI. Yeah, that's why we're learning about the business, economics, and so on. And my thesis in ecology from the mama's prediction. Yeah, the good thing that you have to make your environment is supporting to what you need. Yeah, you have to find your partners to learning the coding. You have to keep your sharing to change the ideas from that one. If you have to maintain that, of course you can move further. From the second one, the good thing that before we move further for data scientists, first you have to know the data pre-processing, to maintain the variable, homogeneous or not, the scale, not missing values, kind of like that. And then of course, if you try to make the visualizations, it requires specific data. For example, if your data is dichotomous 1, 0, kind of like that, of course you can using a bar plot like that. Yeah, from the data visualization skills is really needed. Yeah, of course if your data is text, you only can make the word cloud. Yeah, because the frequency from the specific words it will be create the big word from that one from the word cloud. Yeah, because every data requires every data validation requires specific data, and then same like the models. If you try to predict, of course you can using the time series and using regression. Yeah, if you want to make the segmentation, of course you're using clustering. Yeah, all of the thing is different, and you have to know the basic from that one. Yeah, maybe this one. And then for the computing, it depends. If you would like to explore more about data analytics, I suggest you to learn R. Yeah, R, they have tons of the library. For example, if you're using from the regression, you can using the DPLYR library, kind of like that. But for the Python, can be good if you are working for the image processing, from the sound recognition, from the image multimedia. Python is more powerful than the R. Yeah, kind of like that. Is it answer? Okay, thank you.
All right, now we will move on to the last question, and I will give the opportunity to the right side of this room. Please, the guy in the back.
Okay, so Dr. Rezi said, Bu Yanti dulu deh. That's because I don't know about, because I have gray hair. Or because I'm an educator, yeah. So I choose the last one, okay. So just last week, I think, or the beginning of this week, I read an article from Harvard Business Educator News that the professor actually saying this one. The millennial generation is the digital native, but the next generations will be an AI native. Okay, so as an educator, because this is an opinion to address the educator, so as an educator, AI, make AI as your friends, not your enemy. Okay, so to address that, your questions, I think Dr. Rezi already mentions at the end of his presentations. So AI is a support, is a tool. So who's going to make the decisions? Who's going to make the choice? That would be human, okay? Because according to Dr. Rezi, we are clever than AI, okay? AI learn from us, actually, yeah? So that's also happens in life, and especially in educations. So use AI as your partner, study partner. Use AI as the collaborator, yeah, but you are the boss of this AI, okay? So what is more important for us is how to make the prompt so that we can be the boss. We cannot use AI responsibly and ethically if we have nothing in our brain. So it means we have to have something first, then we absorb more with the assistance of AI, but then after that we do more prompting to challenge this AI, yeah. Then we do our own evaluation and reflection, okay? And knowing you are boss. So if, for examples, yeah, at workplace, you have a boss, and you are the assistants of the boss, okay? So you help them, feed them with the information. Who's going to make the decisions? The boss, right? And then if you give them the informations, sometimes the boss said, this information is irrelevant. This is garbage. I want you to do more works on this one. So just the same, because what? The boss has experience and has knowledge in their brain. Okay, so they can actually prompt you to do something else that he wants. If the result is not as they expect, then of course you have to do some more works, okay? That also happens with AI, okay? So it's not AI become your boss to telling you A, B, C, D, and you take it as it's the truth, A, B, C, D, but you have something here, X, Y, Z, that can actually, the A, B, C, D is the complement of your X, Y, Z here. Then you can evaluate this A, B, C, D, then you say B and C is useless. I just use A and D. Can you now make the correlations, or can you make the relation between A and D and my XYZ, okay? And then come back to you with KLM, and then you say, no, in my opinion, XYZ, nothing, it has nothing to do with the K. L and M, okay lah, okay? Understand now, yeah? That is a simple illustration to say that AI is the support, yeah? But you will have shorter time to solve the problems, because the informations, they give you the informations, and you are the one who will tell the AI, this is not relevant, this is relevant, this is not relevant, this is not helpful, and so on and so forth, then because it's a machine, then they can learn faster, do their coding so that it makes it faster to get more relevant informations. So that is my suggestions how to use AI actually.
Thank you, Bu Yanti. Oh, too wise, isn't it? It's good for you guys. For my perspective, if you're talking about SDGs, they have the pentahelix, yeah, government, industry, media, NGO, yeah, and so the people itself. So, every part also have the responsibility. For example, me as researchers, we develop turn-back hawks, if you know that. Yeah, turn-back hawks is our idea in about the 2017, if I'm not wrong. We developed some of the AI system to classify this media publish the fake news or not. Yeah, maybe the people should aware for they want. Yeah, it's so sad that our netizen they too how to say that? Yeah, too overreactive. Yeah. We know that for the political communications, not our ministry as stupid as that. Yeah, to confront the people with kind of the words. Yeah. Maybe people should wear that. For our smart circle, yeah, for my side, I kind of like the platform from Instagram. Yeah, I have like the 1,000 followers. Yeah, sometimes I put in my Insta stories to make that this is fake. Yeah, to not confront the people to educate one. Of course, is it hard to maintain netizen? Yeah, to get into it. I also agree with the Bu Yanti, but not really, not many people aware for that. Yeah, we should maintain